problem in the cockpit.
How's it? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. That's not important right now. You see, the first.
Johnny, how much more coffee?
No thanks. Please.
No wonder you're upset. She's lovely. And a darling figure. Supple, pouting breasts, firm thighs.
Within 5 miles. Get that finger out of your ear. You don't know where that finger's been.
All right, here we go. My name is Todd Adams.
And this is Kathy Adams.
Welcome back to another episode of Zen Pop Parenting. This is episode number 834. Why listen to Zen Pop Parenting? Because you'll feel outstanding.
And it's where Gen X culture meets real life reflection, because we really need to reflect on ourselves with the movie Airplane.
Airplane. What a classic. So the last 2 weeks, we've done some more current pop culture stuff. What did we do 2 weeks ago?
We did Unknown Number that was on Netflix documentary. Last week we did The Summer I Turned Pretty because it was a season finale. But guess what, Todd? It really wasn't, because there's a movie coming.
I know. But I did appreciate the finale more than I thought I would.
Good.
Yeah, it was.
But today we decided to kick it back to 1980.
We are kicking it back old school. And I was so delighted that we decided. We actually thought about doing this with Dumb and Dumber or Naked Gun. I don't know. But we just, Kathy and I, even though we weren't talking about it, I said to myself, we just have to do Airplane. And like that night I got home, you're like, how about we just do Airplane?
There's just so much. And there's so, like, Naked Gun is a whole new, like, new characters, new everything. So it would be too difficult.
Yes.
I think someday maybe we will do Naked Gun, because we did see the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. So we can do some comparison. But today we've got to give some kudos to the original, what I consider to be the comedy of my childhood, which I believe shaped a lot of Gen X humor. It's kind of what we were born into.
Yes. And I invented a bunch of categories for this podcast I haven't told yet about.
Okay.
So we're going to like get rid of most of our normal categories, I think.
Can we do the first three?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just play with it. But jokes that went over our heads as kids, that's going to be a category in this movie.
Yeah, I got a bunch.
We're going to play a game called Two Truths and One Lie. So instead of trivia, I'm going to give you two truths about this movie in one line. You got to figure out what it is.
And I got one more. I got one more game.
Oh, good. And then maybe top 10 parody films. I have that list. And top 10 comedy one-liners, which I have a big issue with, but we can talk about that. So
my game is going to be, occasionally I'm just going to stop and say something to you and see if you can say back to me what they say in Airplane.
I got a feeling I'm going to do well.
You ready? I'm going to do one.
Oh, yeah.
Nervous?
First time?
No, I've been nervous lots of times.
Very good, sweetie.
Thanks.
Nervous?
Yes.
First time.
No, I've been nervous lots of times.
I gotta start with my hot take though.
Okay.
And it's not hot. It's maybe it's a lukewarm take, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyways.
Boy, it's hot.
Do you have any hot takes, by the way?
Of course.
It's hot in Brooklyn.
Like set up, ready to go?
It's like Africa.
Not really.
Tarzan couldn't take this kind of hot.
I think I have more WTFs.
I'm gonna say best comedy ever.
Jeez. But that's your Gen X-ness. Like, if our girls saw Airplane, they would be like, this is not the best comedy ever. This is fine. This is your 9-year-old self watching this movie.
If I would have seen this movie for the first time as an adult, I don't think I would like it as much as I did. I think that and maybe this gets into a little bit of this.
Gonna be like you.
Little parenting?
Little parenting action. Or maybe it's just like evolving. Things mattered more when we were little kids. Things hit deeper when we were little kids.
Correct.
Whether it's humor or love or relationships or fun, having fun with your friends. You're just like brand new, so you're experiencing these emotions for kind of not the first time, but early on. And I just think Airplane, like I challenge it, and people would say, you know, from our generation, Animal House or Caddyshack or
those two.
Those might be up there. I would put Bridesmaids in probably my top 3 funniest movies of all time, but I think Airplane takes the cake.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that converged, and we're kind of starting, you know, go ahead and set the scene, because that's kind of where we are right now.
All right.
Okay, so I think a lot of things converged. Number one, brain development, right? You were 9, I was 10. We were starting to, it was like 5th grade, 6th grade. We were starting to be interested in more things that we would probably categorize as adult. Number two, the movie channel became a thing.
Yeah.
So the movie channel, for those of you who don't know, was a box that you get for the top of your TV, and you could watch movies that were rated R. So
Yeah.
before then, you would see a movie in the theater, or that movie would show up on TV completely cut up. Okay. So it's like, I remember the first movie that I think I saw this was on video, was Caddyshack. My dad went to the movie store, got Caddyshack, and we were able to watch it for real. I don't think I was supposed to watch it.
Probably not.
I also saw The Shining on my movie channel. So the ability to see a movie over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I have a memory of seeing this in the theater.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I saw it at the theater or not. And going to the movie store, like, was this pre-VHS? No, VHS was probably
It
around.
was all around the same. So if it was 1980, I was 10. So VHS didn't really become as big as, at least in my life and in my town, until I was in like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, things were just starting to become, you watch something over and over and over again, and the other thing was, it was a new kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we had Saturday Night Live, because that started in the 70s, and that was satire and everything, but this was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of humor would you call this? Like,
Is it slapstick?
absurd,
Parody?
parody, satire, and it was fast.
Yeah. I listened to a YouTube clip about this film, and they counted 178 jokes
Wow.
in this 90-minute film. So it's about one every 30 seconds.
Yeah. And the reason why this is a rewatchable, or one that you watched over and over again then or now, is because you're not going to catch it all.
Yeah.
On first glance. There's people in the background, there's things people are wearing, there's things that, again, to your point about our age, things that went way over our heads.
Yeah.
Like, where we were like, people are laughing, or that's supposed to be funny, or that feels a little uncomfortable, but I don't know what that means.
Do we want to do the jokes that went over our heads things right now, or do we want to wait?
Let's explain the movie first.
Okay, yeah,
Just so we know what it is.
Yeah, because some people may have not seen this
Sure.
movie in 25 years.
Yeah. So again, it came out in July 1980, and it was directed by Jim Abrams and Jerry and David Zucker. So did they all three direct it, or did they all three write it?
All three of them directed it, and apparently whatever the Film Institute organizing body didn't want 3 directors, but they petitioned some type of appeal process, and they were allowed to have a 3-person directorial.
Interesting.
And I think they wrote it also.
So it spoofed the 1957 disaster film 0 Hour, which I've never seen.
I have a clip of it, by the way.
Okay, and 0 Hour also has an exclamation point. So for those of you who obviously have never seen Airplane or have seen the box, it's airplane exclamation point. So go ahead and play a clip from 0 Hour.
And just so everybody knows, so I, once again, in my research, the ZAZ, the Zucker-Abrams-Zucker partnership, they would do these commercials. They would do these spoofy commercials. So
Okay.
they would watch late night TV.
Okay.
And they would just take a commercial and then with a video recorder, like, spoof it.
Got it.
And one of the movies that they were watching just to capture the commercials was 0 Hour. And that's how they came up with this idea.
Got it.
And the movie Airplane is completely in alignment with, it's just a total spoof.
It's the same story.
The same story.
Yeah. Some of the language is exactly the same.
Yes, and I'm going to play a little bit of that here in a second. Something else I was going to say about 0 Hour, but it doesn't matter. So here, you're going to hear a scene from 0 Hour that probably sounds kind of familiar.
The life of everybody aboard depends on just one thing. Finding someone back there who not only can fly this plane, but who didn't have fish for dinner.
Excuse me. The first officer is ill, and the captain would like someone with flying experience to help him with the radio. Do you know anything about planes?
Who at the wharf? It was a long time ago. The stewardess said,
So they're showing the automatic pilot, which is just obviously there's no pilot. There's no inflatable balloon that is managing. It was just like on instruments or whatever. But what's funny in that scene is the Leslie Nielsen character just kind of rises up from the ground in that moment.
Uh-huh.
Same thing happens in 0 Hour. So they like literally like replicated a lot of how it was shot, where the actors were, and everything else.
Got it. So
Anyway.
it's just, they basically just took something that was supposed to be serious and
Yes.
made fun of it, used jokes, slapstick, deadpan delivery, all that kind of stuff. So the story is there is a regular flight from LA to Chicago. It goes wrong, as you just heard, after the crew and a lot of people on board are poisoned by the fish because there's 3 different meals. I remember I had lasagna.
Yes.
And Ted Stryker, who is he's an ex-pilot from the war, as Todd said, or as the clip said, and he's afraid of flying, but he has to help land this plane with the help of his girlfriend, who's a flight attendant, and they still use the word stewardess, obviously. And it's about and the ground controllers who are trying to get them down. So Airplane is that structure with all sorts of really great, and it's also not only is it a movie of its time in that the humor was new, but there's Todd and I watched it again, and there's just so much in it that is so 70s, because again, it's 1980, so it's not like we even knew what the 80s were going to be yet, but like all the religious fanaticism and just the smoking and the coffee and the drinking and the there's just so much that was representative of the time.
No doubt.
So just a few things about the characters, and then we're going to move on. Robert Hayes played Ted Stryker. If you don't know Robert Hayes, he was in the show Angie. Remember Angie?
No.
Yes, you do. Angie. She was in. You actually one time played the Angie theme song on this show.
Oh.
It was the woman who was in Saturday Night Fever, and she. God, what was her name? But anyway, as you're finding did you find the Angie theme song?
Was this a good show?
I mean, it was on, we didn't have lots of choices. I watched Angie, you know what I mean? But he was the guy in Angie. And then he was in Airplane too, but that wasn't as good. Sorry. That's a hot take. And then Julie Haggerty, she played Elaine. She was not really well known before Airplane. And obviously, if you have seen What About Bob, she is the wife in What About Bob.
Yes.
She's got a very specific style of communication. And
I heard her personality in real life is very similar to the character.
it has to be, right? Because it's so unique. And then Leslie Nielsen, who plays the doctor, Dr. Rumack, who he was kind of a serious actor before this movie. He was a serious actor. And this was the beginning of his comedy. He became a legend because he was in Police Squad, which was on TV, and then the Naked Gun series. Then Robert Stack, who was also a serious actor in The Untouchables. And then he became our Unsolved Mysteries guy. Did you watch Unsolved Mysteries?
Maybe a little bit. And a lot of these actors didn't get it. They
thought were they trying to be serious or trying to be funny?
A few of them started to try to be funny, and the directors had to say, "Stop trying to be funny. You have to act as if you're in this 0-hour movie where everything is on the line." And a few of them, it took them a while to figure out what this movie was supposed to be like, and they finally figured it out.
And that's such like one of those comedy directions. I heard Amy Poehler talking about that on her podcast, is when they would have people come on SNL. They would say, just read what's written and don't try and be funny, because it's the writing and the commitment that makes it funny. You have to just totally. So then another serious actor, Lloyd Bridges, he was in Sea Hunt. Obviously, he is the father of Bo and Jeff Bridges, and he was in Airplane, and I love his role. And then he was also in Hot Shots later with Charlie Sheen. We just watched.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Right, that's it for the wrong week to quit drinking.
There you go.
Quit. What else? There's like 3 others of those. Do you have them all?
Taking
amphetamines, smoking.
Yeah.
And then Peter Graves, he was also a serious actor. He was in Mission Impossible on TV, and then he was in Airplane. He was the pilot, which his role would be the hardest for me to take.
He did not like that part.
He didn't?
Well, I mean, apparently he couldn't even look at this young actor in the eyes on set because of the
Can you play one of his lines?
Let's see. I got it here somewhere. I don't know which one. Oh, here we go.
Hey, we have something here for our special visitors. Would you like to have it?
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sure. You ever been in a cockpit before?
No, sir, I've never been up in a plane before.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
I mean, these fall into the WTF category.
Yes.
Okay, so then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is in this movie, which is so random, but it's such a funny, like, just side note joke.
209er, you are cleared for takeoff.
Roger. Huh?
LA departure frequency 123.9er.
Roger. Huh? Request vector. Over. What?
Flight 209er, clear for vector 324.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
There you go.
And he plays Roger Murdoch. That's what he keeps saying. And that kid Joey keeps asking him if he is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he says no. And then everybody else is kind of like, supporting characters, and we'll get into them more. So that's the setup. So do you want to go into random facts?
Can we do jokes that went over our head, or is it premature?
Let's do it. And this can be kind of the remember when too.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So let's just stay on target here and do a little bit of this.
Stay on target.
And then remember when is what
Yeah.
we're doing, right?
I remember when you couldn't.
All right. So, some jokes that went over, I'll just say my head and my
Okay.
guesses, because I was 8 years old, you were 9 when this came out.
Wasn't I 10 and you were 9? Because I was born. Oh, you're right. I was 9. I was born in 71. So you're right.
So we already talked about Captain Over's creepy questions to Joey.
Right.
Like we thought that was maybe that's one of the jokes that I didn't even think was funny because I didn't understand what the joke
Because
was.
that one, the grown man naked, is very literal. The next one is like, do you ever hang around the gymnasium?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean anything
No,
to
right.
us.
We're seeing a movie about gladiators.
Yeah, we don't get
so
it.
that one actually did go over my head.
Okay.
The autopilot inflation scene.
You know what you should do? You have a sound of like something going over our head.
Not right this moment. I could probably get something.
It goes like
Yes,
that, like some kind of
Can I
sound.
hear you say that again? Yeah.
Like I'm visualizing it. I can hear it in my head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do have some sounds. See.
Oh.
There you go.
That's a cricket.
I know, but it went over, it was meant for jokes and it went over our head, so it was crickets.
Okay, not exactly what I was thinking, but we'll let it ride because we got to keep moving.
Okay.
So yes, so blowing up Otto, which is the autopilot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I knew exactly what that joke was.
Yes, I didn't either because we didn't, thank goodness, understand that level of sexuality yet because it looks like she is, I don't know how much we can say on the show. It looks like that she's, okay.
The moral sex happening.
There's some moral sex.
It's
Thank you.
called
That's the
for it.
word I was looking for.
The blow gag, which is Lloyd Bridges. We just talked about it, sniffing glue and all that stuff.
Right.
So that.
Why is he hanging upside down though? I still don't get that.
Maybe,
at 54.
maybe you haven't been on amphetamines,
Amphetamines, but he's not on amphetamines. He just sniffed glue.
I know, but I think he also took amphetamines.
Amphetamines.
Yeah.
So he smoked and then he drank.
He's just high.
He's just so high that he's upside down like a bat.
Of
Okay.
course.
All right.
Ted Stryker's drinking problem.
I did think that was funny. I
did too, but I didn't understand why.
You didn't understand that they were trying to allude that he was an alcoholic, but his drinking problem is actually he can't get the drink in his mouth.
Yes.
He just throws the drink on himself.
The jive talk scene I thought was funny. I didn't quite understand it all.
I didn't understand that either.
Yeah.
And that is like a total like exaggeration.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, it wasn't reality based. It was just based on.
This one is not the joke, but I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
So the white zone is for voting and unvoting, and there is no stopping in the red zone.
So quick trivia about that is they tried to get some voice actors to do that. And
Okay.
they weren't happy with any of the voice actors.
Okay.
So they ended up going to LAX and plucked the two people who actually were the ones.
Stop.
And they were married in real life.
And that's the joke of the two of them having a conversation because she mentions a vasectomy.
Yeah.
And then he mentions about her getting an abortion.
Yeah.
And they're doing this over the
really
loudspeaker.
funny.
See, that's a perfect example in this movie is that is not the main, you're supposed to be watching Ted Stryker walk through the airport.
Right.
So you're not really, you're listening to that.
There's jokes going on in the background.
A million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hare Krishna airport solicitors.
Yeah.
I didn't know why that was
I
funny.
didn't either. I didn't get it.
And then finally the Ethel Merman cameo.
You'll be swell.
I don't even know who Ethel Merman is.
Oh, okay. I don't remember what I understood, but I do know who she is now.
Okay.
You know who she is now, right?
No. I mean, I know she's a famous person, but I don't know
Right.
why.
Do you remember? It's so hard to go back to that age, but it was funny that, because we knew everybody in the hospital beds were men who had been in the war.
Yeah.
And that he's like, oh, he thinks he's Ethel Merman.
Yeah.
And it's literally Ethel Merman.
Right.
So like maybe we didn't know who she was, but it's funny that it's a woman.
Yes. So those are the jokes that went over our head. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. One of them that I didn't understand was the kid who's bringing the other kid coffee.
Yes.
And he says, again, 1980, everybody.
Yeah.
He says, he hands her coffee and then he said, do you want cream? And she said, no, I take it black like my men.
Yes.
And they're supposed to be like 10 years old.
Didn't understand
I
that.
didn't understand that. I don't even know if I heard what she said.
Right.
And let's see if there's anything else. I didn't know what the Peace Corps was at the time because they have this whole thing on the Peace Corps. Yeah, a lot of it, again, thus the reason why I'm saying this was so revolutionary or was the beginning of our humor because we were being introduced to a lot of things. And again, we'll talk more about this in WTF, but so much of it was based in racial stereotypes and gender stereotypes. And it was it was of its time, but we wouldn't call this movie appropriate.
Right. No, not even close. And also hilarious.
Yeah, because of who we are in our age.
Anything else remember when?
No, I think that what I will say is that our generation, again, hammering this fact, we speak these lines to each other. There's the what's your vector, Victor, Roger, Roger. I don't even know if I can't even it's like someone may say, when do you do that? I don't know, but we do it a lot. In the don't call me Shirley stuff.
Stewardess said both pilots.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
That might be one of the most famous movie lines of all time.
Exactly, because people say it a lot. Or again, old people like us.
I say this one a lot and people don't know it.
More than 5 miles. Get that finger out of your ear. You don't know where that finger's been.
You do say that a lot.
I still don't even know why that's funny.
I don't.
Don't we know where our finger has been? Is that why it's funny?
Well, first of all, it's his finger.
Yeah.
So who cares? And number two, the guy then looks at it and smells his finger.
Yes.
Which is gross comedy.
Yes.
So the whole thing is just a setup.
And I say this one all the time.
Just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
And he says it even after they land.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go into some random facts. You ready?
Hold on. I got to play the song for our random facts.
Okay.
Pounds. Do you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
All right. Why don't you start?
Okay, so a lot of it we've already talked about, that it was, based on 0 Hour from 1957, that they made a choice to cast serious actors. Otto the autopilot. So again, Otto, OTTO, but he's the autopilot. That's funny in itself. He was, they're talking about how he was, put together. Who really cares? He's a big part of the movie. Like at the end of the movie, Otto takes the plane and flies away with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
There's this, who knows if this is true. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he agreed to play Roger Murdoch, but only if the people, running the movie bought him a $30,000 Oriental rug he wanted.
Yeah.
Did you get that too?
I did get it. I'm not buying it, but okay.
So this is pretty big. So this movie was made for $3.5 million. And it grossed over $170 million.
Believe it.
I mean, that is one of the most profitable comedies ever. So there's parody. There's a lot of parody in here, like the Saturday Night Fever parody. When they go to the bar, there's the Saturday Night Fever was huge at the time. And, it's interesting. I watched that scene and I've always thought they were also parodying. I can't say that word and you can't say I've had a beans.
No, I can't.
That they were also making fun of An Officer and a Gentleman, but they weren't because that movie didn't come out to 1983.
Interesting.
Because he's wearing his whites
Yeah.
and that's what he does in Officer and a Gentleman, but he's not. And then this was, basically, I think the most random fact is this is the legacy of deadpan movies like Naked Gun, Top Secret, Hot Shots. Like this is the beginning.
Trailblazers. Completely.
Exactly. And just a few, I'll say all the movies that it influenced that I have written down. Naked Gun, Top Secret, Hot Shots, and Hot Shots Part 2, Scary Movie 3 and 4, Austin Powers, The Simpsons. The writers say that they were influenced, Family Guy, Directors and actors that were influenced: Judd Apatow, in Judd Apatow, we know did Knocked Up, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Adam McKay, Anchorman, Step Brothers, and we know he and Will Ferrell like wrote together. Leslie Nielsen, obviously, we know about him being, Jim Carrey said that he was influenced by these movies, Will Ferrell. And then more recently, Anchorman, that's kind of old, but again, from this time, Deadpool, the Lego movie, Sweetie Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Oh yeah,
which is one of.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It's so
over the top.
It's over the top, but it's not appreciated.
No,
and it's not all good. It's like any movie where you're like, these parts are good and these parts aren't. And then I want to even go into some TV shows that are inspired by this kind of humor: Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Community, Rick and Morty. And again, if people who are like, what do you mean it was inspired? It's that kind of humor that the people who wrote it started with Airplane.
Yep.
What We Do in the Shadows, which is awesome. And then the two shows that I feel that I love the most that have the vibe of Airplane are 30 Rock, which is probably one of my all-time favorite comedies, and Arrested Development.
Mm-hmm.
They both have the things that they have are the fast humor. So there's a joke coming all the time. Like, again, 30 Rock and Arrested Development, you have to watch it more than once or else you're not going to get the whole thing. It also, both shows have the flashbacks, which they do in Airplane. They'll say something and then they'll flash back to something funny, or something like, oh, they're up there, they're on instruments. And then they'll flash to them and they're actually playing instruments, that kind of absurdity. And it's just rapid fire, know, and then bringing in serious actors like Alec Baldwin into 30 Rock and Arrested Development had all these, most of them comedians, but some serious people, like Liza Minnelli and who's the stew guy, Carl Weathers, and they brought in these like Henry Winkler and Scott Baio, who I don't know how we feel about him these days, but he is blah blah blah. Just funny jokes upon jokes upon jokes. So anyway, I just thought that's a lot of good random facts because it is so, it started something. Let's just say that.
I gotta get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Please let me handle this.
I gotta get out.
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Oh.
Doctor, you're one on the phone.
So supposedly Leslie Nielsen, that second slap that he did was improvised and he accidentally hit her. Now, I just watched it. He didn't hit her bad, but he may have just grazed her with her finger.
Well, the next person that comes in is a nun. And then the line, there's people with knives and guns.
Wrenches.
It's really, again, it's a kind of WTF because they're all hitting a woman.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
Not cool.
It's not cool.
Oh
but
my, how funny it was back then, though, sweetie.
I know. That's the thing is, this isn't hard to talk about because, again, you've got to talk about the influence of it, but some of the jokes are just wrong. Okay, so do you want to go into WTF or do you want to do another list?
One more thing that kind of, this would go over our daughters' heads if they ended up watching it today. Have our kids ever seen this?
No.
So there's that, I'll play the quote.
Would either of you like another cup of coffee?
I will, but Jim won't.
I think I will have another cup of coffee.
Jim never has a second cup of coffee at home.
And I'm like, whatever. And then there's a commercial called Yuban, Y-U-B-A-N. Do you remember this commercial?
I don't, but I remember adults understanding.
Stay for more coffee? It's late, and Jim never has a second.
I'd love another cup.
Jim never had seconds of my coffee. I made pretty good coffee. But that night, we both discovered Yuban.
Yeah, Yuban.
Because she also says Jim never throws up at home.
I know. That's funny.
Yes.
So
they
other
keep
things,
the joke going.
This was Ethel Merman's final acting role before her death. Peter Grave felt uncomfortable. I said that. Now I want to play a little bit of Two Truths and One Lie.
Okay, let's hear it.
You ready? Let's see how you do. Some of them we've already discussed. That's why I want to get it out of the way early. Kareem only agreed to appear if the producers bought him a $30,000 Oriental rug.
I did hear that.
Second one is Bill Murray was considered for the lead role of Ted Stryker. And the third one is Leslie Nielsen improvised the famous Don't Call Me Shirley line. Which of those three is a lie?
I'm going to say Bill Murray.
Incorrect. Leslie Nielsen, that was a scripted line. Don't call me Shirley. Production. Two truths, one lie. Here we go. The film only cost 3.5 mil to make and grossed over 170 million. The autopilot Otto was voiced by Mel Blanc, the voice of Bugs Bunny. And
He didn't have a voice.
And the third thing is the airport announcers were voiced by actual married couple. We already talked about that.
Otto didn't have a voice.
Very
so it's
good.
that one.
The drinking problem gag was written in on set the day of filming. That's one.
Okay.
The hysterical passenger slap was improvised by actress Lee Bryant and kept in after one take. And then finally, the jive talk scene required real subtitles because even the actors didn't understand what they were saying.
I think that's probably true.
Okay.
So I'd say that I don't know which one. I can't remember them all now.
The lie was the drinking problem gag was written on the stay of set.
Okay.
We already talked about that one. All right. Chevy Chase was originally offered the role of Dr. Rumack before Leslie Nielsen. The directors bought the rights to 0 Hour and used entire lines verbatim. And then finally, the cockpit set was borrowed from the movie Airport 77.
That's true. And I think I think it's the first one, Chevy Chase.
According to my research, the cockpit set was borrowed from the movie Airport 77 is not true. That is a lie.
So they offered it to Chevy Chase.
Apparently.
But he's so young.
Well, that's the other thing. And they decided to move away from the comedic actors as a group.
That was smart.
So I think they originally had this. And Letterman actually was supposed to be Ted Stryker. And then
David?
Yeah, there's even a clip of him auditioning for the role.
Way.
Yes, I'll try to find that.
You can find that, but I also want you to find, speaking of 30 Rock and airports, you should find some Matt Damon quotes from 30 Rock because he's a pilot.
What is his name?
Carol.
Carol,
that's a girl's name. So should we go into WTF? Do you want to open that up?
Yeah, let's open that up. First, I got to head over here.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
All right. So what do you got for WTF?
Okay. So I will say I have a whole list of things. The first one you just mentioned, the calm her down scene where, she's the woman who says Jim never has 2 cups of coffee. She is freaking out and they're all hitting her. And that's rough.
Yep.
The next one, Otto, because he is very, the inflatable autopilot is very sexual in nature. He does more sexual things than just getting blown up by Elaine. Then there's, it's the 80s. So there's a lot of gratuitous, there was not a lot, but there was some gratuitous nudity.
Yeah.
There's a scene where you're noticing that the plane is shaking and then they show Jello and then they show a woman.
Yeah.
Breasts. And then later when they're all freaking out, the woman doesn't have a shirt on and just comes right in front of the screen.
Yeah.
That was like everybody, it was like in the 80s, you just had to throw that stuff in.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a part where Leslie Nielsen's character is as if he's a gynecologist and the woman is in the stirrups.
Yeah. Because he's like literally in the airplane and there's a woman in stirrups, like Todd said. Now that I didn't get either.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know gynecology then, right? So I was like, what's happening here? The jive scene is over the top. And it is kind of funny that they're in that scene. I mean, they show these 2 men talking a few times, but Barbara Billingsley, who was in Leave It to Beaver, who is very well known, obviously, by that audience, she actually comes over at one point and says to the stewardess, excuse me, miss, I speak jive.
Yeah.
And then she speaks with them and it's kind of funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the joke. Then all the stuff that Peter Graves has to say with Joey, have you ever been in Turkish prison? Do you like movies about gladiators? Have you ever seen a grown man naked? We wouldn't do that today.
I still don't even understand the Turkish prison joke.
I don't know.
What is it about Turkish prisons that I should know about?
I don't know. I don't even know if we should look it up.
I still got some things to learn.
Okay. Let's see. The flashbacks of every time Ted sits next to someone, he tells them his story of he and Elaine and why they broke up. And then whenever he's done talking, they're so bored that they are somehow harming themselves as if they're going to take their own lives. Again, not great. And then, the addiction spiral of Lloyd Bridges. And, that's about it.
There's a lot of WTF.
There's a lot of WTF in this, in this movie.
Mhm.
It just depends on where you get offended, you know? So that's my WTF. Do you have anything?
My WTF is not about the movie itself because the American Film Institute ranked Airplane the 10th funniest movie of all time, and I just have a lot of problems with some of the top 9.
Okay.
So first,
do you want me to guess any? How do you want to do this? You're just going to read
I
them?
got a feeling you're going to not be able to catch most of these. I feel like whoever wrote this wrote it in 1985.
Okay, so it's probably going to be Monty Python stuff.
No, Monty Python is not.
Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles is in there.
Okay, that was totally of that time.
Some of these I don't even think are comedies. The Graduate, is that a comedy?
I mean, kind of.
So first of all, supposedly the funniest movie of all time is from 1959.
Oh, yikes. Some Like It Hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that a funny movie?
I don't think so. And I don't know. I mean, it was at the time.
So I'm giving thumbs down on Some Like It Hot. The next one, I'm giving thumbs up. Tootsie. Very funny.
I agree with that.
Next one, Dr. Strangelove, or
Okay.
How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Annie Hall, still haven't seen any of his
not a
movies.
Woody Allen person.
Duck Soup from 1933.
That's Groucho Marx, right?
Oh, there you go. That's probably funny.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles, MASH.
The movie.
The movie. I liked the TV show better than I liked
the movie.
the movie. It happened one night in 1934. Like, come on, stop it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they got to work
Well,
on
who did this list?
the American Film Institute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if we were boomers, we'd be like, what we're doing right now with Airplane is kind of boomery.
I very naively would think that our daughters would think that this is a very funny movie, but maybe they wouldn't.
I mean, they'd be like, huh.
I had them watch Tommy Boy and they didn't think it was that funny. And then I had them watch What About Bob and they loved it. So it's weird. How do you know what's going to hit with this younger generation?
Yeah, they didn't like Wayne's World either.
Yeah.
And they definitely didn't like Austin Powers.
No.
Because I told him he was an international man of mystery, and so they thought it was a mystery.
Tyler thought she's watching a mystery.
He's like, "Where's the mystery?" So, sweetie, I'm going to ask you another question.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure.
Let me see. I'm going to see if I have one. Sweetie, a lot of people had plans before the war.
Just ask George Zip.
There you go. Good job.
I know it.
One more.
Yeah.
Hospital, what is it?
It's a big building.
You better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
Hospital, what is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
Not important right
Tell the
now.
captain I must speak to him.
Certainly.
See, and they just go right over it.
Yeah. Boom. Okay, are we ready for what are we going to do next?
Well, I just have some more. I mean, I have some rolling in the deep. I have a little bit.
Okay.
But I also have like a list of jokes.
Okay.
Like that I rewatched it and just wrote a bunch of things down.
Okay.
Now you may have some of these quotes, you know, you may have some of them that you can pull up. We already did the white zone, red zone, George Zip, just so everybody knows. I don't know why I always thought that was funny. Because it is somebody who died in the war that Ted Stryker feels like he did something wrong that caused his death. So anytime someone says something kind of semi-positive to Ted Stryker, he'd be like, wish I could say the same for George Zip. And then it would a sound would go off. And then he would also see in his head planes crashing. And, do you remember what the pilot is reading? Peter Graves, the pilot.
Nun's Life.
No, it's
wasn't.
what he's reading at the airport before he picks up the phone.
What is it?
Modern sperm.
Oh, really?
I didn't even get that.
Never even noticed that.
And then do you remember what he says when there's a phone call for him?
I've got it.
They're like Captain Over.
Yeah.
His name's Captain Over. And then they tell him the Mayo Clinic's on the other line.
Yeah.
So he says, give me a ham on 5, hold the Mayo.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Ham is on another call. I mean, it's so stupid.
It's totally stupid, but awesome. It lands.
Okay. And then we did not mention that this is, again, a little pop culture-y. One of the plot lines on the plane is this little girl who needs a heart transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And she is played by this actress who played Vicky on The Love Boat.
Mm-hmm.
So our generation knew her as Vicky on The Love Boat.
Yeah.
Like that she is Captain Stubing's daughter. Like that's all we knew her, So to see her in Airplane was kind of a thing.
We're expecting you.
Dun, 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 dun.
You and I watched a full episode of Love Boat a few years ago.
Sure
and
did.
It was outstanding because of how bad and stupid it
And
was.
good it was.
And all the actors that show up.
They are all in it.
Yeah.
Like anyone who was big, it was kind of like coming on a talk show.
Yeah.
It's like if you had something to promote, you go on the Love Boat, you have an affair with Doc,
Mhm.
you know, because the doctor on the boat like made out with everybody.
Yes.
And then, you know, that was really it.
Yeah.
Gopher.
Yeah. Gopher ended up being a congressman in Iowa, I believe.
He sure did. What was the
Isaac?
Isaac. Yeah, I'm pointing at Todd, like the
Yeah.
bartender. Okay. Let's see. The one scene that again, what we would only understand is when all the captains are getting ready to take off, there's a guy who comes up and starts washing the windshield as if they're like at a gas station.
Yeah.
And then he opens the hood of the plane
Yeah.
as if he's checking the oil.
Right.
This is all happening behind the scenes.
Right.
And then he comes up to the window for them to, I'm putting this in air quotes, pay, because obviously they don't need to do any of this. But the credit card machine that they have is like, do you have that sound?
No. Maybe I can find it.
And so it's kind of like that is so of our time. And as Todd is looking for the sound, Todd used to work at a gas station. He worked at a full service gas station. So he did used to do that, pump people's gas,
I sure did.
check their oil, and then slide their credit card. And I worked in retail. So I also used to slide people's credit cards.
Yes.
And sometimes do you remember what you'd have to do when the slider wouldn't work?
You'd have to use the pen
And then draw over it.
I do remember that.
God, it was crazy.
I don't know if this is the sound.
Okay, let's hear it.
No, that's not the sound.
Sounds like bells.
No, this is processing credit card payment. So I don't know what's going on.
That's probably on the phone
Yeah.
when you're listening.
Yeah.
So another thing is that when Ted decides he's going to get on this plane to follow Elaine, his girlfriend, because she's one of the flight attendants, they say to him, do you want smoking or non-smoking?
Mhm.
And he says smoking. And so they hand him a ticket that smoke is coming out of. But in real life, you could smoke on airplanes.
I know. I think that's just terrible. I hated it. I hated cigarette smoke in general. And I don't even know how I survived.
I just think it was so normal for
Yeah.
us. Like you were in the front of the plane and people in the back were smoking, and you would kind of be like, oh, I'm so glad I'm away from that.
Yeah.
As if it's not lingering in the air.
Of course.
Every seat had ashtrays.
Yeah.
Like you could, just like how every car had a lighter.
And what did the fabric end up smelling like?
God.
I know the smoke just was infiltrated the fabric of the seat cushions.
Imagine how dirty the windows are.
Yeah.
And imagine how risky that is. If someone like dropped their cigarette and something caught on fire.
Right.
There's so many, everyone had lighters.
I know.
I mean, come on.
Headlighters.
And then the sign said, "El no you smoko."
Yes.
And then let's see, blah, blah, blah. So going back to the other one, the magazine. So on the plane, the boy is reading
Nun's Life.
Nun's Life, and the nun is reading
Boy's Life. Very good.
And then let's see if there's anything else that we haven't touched. Second cup of coffee, Peace Corps. There something interesting on the second watch is there was 2 Ronald Reagan jokes in the movie. And at the time this movie came out, Jimmy Carter was president. So Ronald Reagan had not even been president yet.
Yeah.
And they were already making fun of him. They talk about his movie when he's the Gipper.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the first woman gets a stomach ache, she says, I haven't felt this sick since that Ronald Reagan film.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that we were already making fun of him. He must have been the governor of California.
Probs.
And then what I think makes me laugh still is when the pilots are dropping like flies because they've had the fish for dinner, and they're like communicating over the intercom to tell the passengers not to be scared, but they're dragging the pilots down.
And they're blindly just looking forward, not noticing that there's
Yeah, they're dragging the pilots down the aisle. So, so I think that
ready for a few quotes.
Go ahead.
Captain, maybe we ought to turn on the searchlights now.
Oh. It's just what they'll be expecting us to do.
I think that's a very funny line. What about this one?
Captain, how soon can you land?
I can't tell.
You can tell me, I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
Boss, head man, top dog, big cheese, a head honcho. Number.
Look at this.
Passenger certain to die. Airline negligent.
There's a sale at Penny's.
We haven't even talked about Johnny yet.
About Johnny. I think for those of us who were really young when we saw this movie, most people loved Johnny the most.
For sure.
Because he had the best line.
And I think he improvised most of them.
And did you read about him? He died very young.
Oh, no.
He died at 38. I believe he, I don't know if he had cancer. There was something that he had.
That's right.
Honestly, Todd, I think he might have had AIDS.
Well, speaking of AIDS, I didn't know Charlie Sheen had HIV.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, I knew that. He came out on the talk shows 5 years ago or something.
We watched the Charlie Sheen documentary last night, 2-part. We watched part 2 last night.
Heavy, man.
Yeah, some heavy stuff going on there. All right, you ready for the top 10 movies parents let their kids watch too young?
I can guess some of these. I know.
ahead.
Does this annoy you that I guess?
No. This is good. Go ahead.
Saturday Night Fever.
That is not on the list, but it needs to be on the list.
Grease.
Grease, also not on the list.
So what age are we? What years? Because I'm thinking Gen X.
80s. These are all 80s.
These are 80s. Okay. Animal House.
Animal House.
What?
Not on the list.
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack is number 5.
Okay. So are they all comedies or are they?
No.
The Exorcist.
Exorcist is not on the list. So it's hard. I'm asking you a lot to guess what these are.
Okay, so just do your list.
First of all, I've never seen this. RoboCop, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, don't know anything.
Basic Instinct. I mean, how many parents are taking their kids to Basic Instinct? Come on, stop it.
They should just watch the trailer.
Poltergeist.
Sure.
I mean, why are you taking your kids to Poltergeist? Porky's.
Yes, awful movie.
Yeah,
I'm going to say something right now, Todd. Those movies from the 80s that are so Gen X, we're never doing them.
Yeah.
Porky's was awful.
So just a bad movie. Beetlejuice, whatever. That was fine. But Gremlins shows up.
Scary.
Yeah, it's apparently pretty scary, but it was marketed to kids. So those are some of the movies.
Jurassic Park, did you say that?
I did not. I think that was in the 90s, though.
Okay, so this is just 80s.
My honorable mention is The Champ.
Very sad.
Because my parents took me to see it. I was like 7 years old. And spoiler alert, John Voight dies at the end of the movie.
And Ricky Schroeder is very sad.
And it was devastating. Thank you, Alan and Sharon Adams from 1978. That was a rough one for me.
They also took you to Saturday Night Fever.
They did. And Animal House. And many other things.
Just want to go see the movies.
And somehow I ended up a normal human being.
I will say, because we've already discussed, my dad took me to all these movies and he took me to Raiders of the Lost Ark. And at the end, when that guy's face, like burns off.
Yeah.
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Like I remember being like, that took me a little bit to get over.
Sure.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what we have not discussed, Todd?
What?
One of the, we're talking about things that you still say all the time.
Sure.
Is the dog.
Shep, sit.
Shep, sit.
Shep. Is it Shemp?
It's S-H-E-P. It's Shep.
It's Shep. Yeah. Because the Lozers have a dog. Her name is Maya.
Uh-huh.
And Maya.
When she was little.
She would just kind of want to love on you and jump all over you.
Yeah.
And I would always say, Shep, sit. Because Chris and Manisha would give the commands. And the commands rarely ever worked.
When she was a baby.
And even if it did work, it would be 4 seconds. And
then she'd come back.
And then Maya would come back. So yeah, I
would always go, Shep, sit.
That's the truth.
Because there is a scene where this dog is attacking this guy.
Yes.
And all she says, she's just like, oh, Shep, sit.
Yeah.
And then she's like, come.
Right.
And then he just goes right over and attacks him again. So that's pretty good too. So let's do a really quick rolling in the deep and with a little bit of parenting. It'll just brief. Okay.
Gonna be like you.
Oh, good. Good.
And the cats in the cradle and the sleep.
All right, what do you got?
Gen X humor. 3 entwined traits. Okay. Sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpan.
Mm-hmm.
Parody and irony. What do you think about that?
I think that's accurate.
And I think that's 4.
Yeah.
But it's and then the other piece of it is that they're very layered.
Mm-hmm.
And referenced, meaning that they come from inside jokes, which I think is why, again, this experience with pop culture always makes me reflect on myself and why I like what I like. And I think part of the reason I like that inside jokes where you have to understand something else, you have to have some cultural literacy to understand certain jokes in movies and TV. That's so Gen X, it's so it's not only is it quick, but it's like we're referencing something else. Did you pick it up?
Sure.
You know, and that to me is really funny. And I don't like it when it's too overt. I like it when it's like something that, like, for example, I don't know if we talked about this last week on the Summer I Turned Pretty, but Todd and I, when we watched the last episode, there's this scene where they take the camera and they go around Belly and Conrad, and while they're going around them, they look at each other, but then look away. They don't look at each other at the exact same time. And it was and again, I don't know for sure, but to me, it seemed just like Before Sunset, which is this amazing scene where they kind of are looking at each other, but then look away. And I don't know for sure that they're referencing that, but to me, I think they are.
Well, you called it. You're like, he's going to look away right as she turns.
She looks at him. Yeah. And it's not like it's that super creative, but it's like the whole point of that scene in Before Sunset is recognizing that they're starting to really, you know, they really love each other, or they're starting to feel that way. And so anyway, I just thought that was good. So callbacks, you know, background gags. And again, this is why I love 30 Rock. Did you find anything from 30 Rock?
I couldn't find any good parts.
Anything from Arrested Development?
Not right now.
Do you not want to look? You're looking at me like I'm not good.
I mean, I'm about to cue something else up, but I'm going to have to interrupt your mojo.
Cue.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will go back to it, but I think that it is a certain type of humor. I don't know that everybody loves it, but to be able to have gags that you come back to that, like, you know,
like this one.
My whole life you've called me a chicken. That's over now. I have nothing to prove.
Not me.
Unfortunately, in Mexican culture, this was a much more inflammatory gesture.
So everybody in the family has their own way of doing a chicken, and it looks nothing like a chicken and sounds nothing like a chicken, but they do it all the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think as far as like, you know, again, maybe deep cuts here, I think it didn't, even though we're like, everything started with Airplane. You know what was before Airplane, Todd?
What?
Mad Magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I loved Mad. Did you love Mad?
I loved certain parts of Mad. Certain parts I would just skip over, but yes.
So I think it was my sister who had the subscription to Mad and Cracked. But I think that was part of it for me, was like, I wanted to read her magazines.
Sweetie, trivia. What is the kind of the mascot main character of Mad Magazine? His name was?
Alfred E. Newman.
And Cracked was?
I don't remember.
I believe his name was Sylvester.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that. I just remember I'd get really excited at the end of, I think it was Mad. They had Spy versus Spy. You remember there was a black spy and a white spy, but they were often very violent.
Oh yeah,
it was almost like Tom and Jerry taken to
Ren and Stimpy.
Exactly, it was so over the top where I was like, "Woo!" But I liked it because sometimes they would get along.
Yeah,
there would be somewhere it'd be like they would agree.
You ready for a piece on 30 Rock?
Sure, go ahead.
Do not blame me. I wouldn't take us because she wouldn't admit to being wrong for challenging my authority.
Why not? What's wrong with you?
I am right, and he knows it. He could have given us food.
Maybe this is one of those times when both of you just say on the count of three, I was wrong.
1, 2, 3, never.
You dating? You're too similar.
And then the actor,
Pulling the emergency exit slide, and we are all.
this actor in that scene just won an Emmy. Stewart, was that his name?
Joel, yeah. I mean, he's Joel in Somebody Somewhere. Yeah. He always talks about that. He's like, all I ever played were waiters, you know, because he's in another episode of 30 Rock too. They used him a lot
that's
as
right,
a different character.
Yeah,
he was like the guy at the hotel.
Yeah.
And he's super funny in everything. But that is when Matt Damon is on 30 Rock, and he and Liz are dating, but they're too similar. So they keep fighting and they can't resolve it. But he's a pilot, so it kind of goes into Airplane.
What was it we had for dinner tonight?
Well, we had a choice, steak, fish.
Yes, I remember. I had lasagna.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
One more for Johnny.
Where did you get that dress? It's awful. And those shoes and that coat. Jeez.
And he just comes in out of the blue.
Yes.
Like what's Johnny doing there?
Yeah.
But it's like they just said, "Okay, come in this scene and be funny." And he was. And he, by the way, he did die of AIDS related complications.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes.
Top 10 parody films. Airplane's number 1.
Okay. Naked Gun.
That's number 2.
Top Secret.
Top Secret is not in the top 10.
That is awful.
Yeah.
Top Secret's hilarious.
I know.
I actually sent you something from Top Secret.
You
Why don't
did.
you play that right now?
That's the dancing scene.
Yeah.
Is it gonna hit?
I don't know, but I will set it up as you're playing it. It's Val Kilmer, and it came out 3 years. It came out in 1983, and it had the same kind of humor. And Val Kilmer plays like an Elvis Presley type character. And and he just has this scene where he sings this song. What's it called? Something the rug.
I thought it was
Straightening the Rug.
Yeah.
And I really like it. And it's one of my sister's all-time favorite movies. She loved this movie and used to quote it a lot. And again, Val Kilmer, come on.
It's funny.
It's early.
Well, get out on that floor and hit that rug tonight.
It's funny to see Val Kilmer young.
It is. And it's funny just in itself because he's just jumping from rug to rug and like straightening it.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
And these guys, the Zucker brothers and Abrams did this, right? This is their movie?
Yes.
Yeah. And I heard it didn't quite hit.
So, and I'm saying Top Secret, right? I didn't say Hot Shots because sometimes I mix those up in my head. That's Top Secret.
Just say you're right.
Yeah.
You ready for the other ones?
Yes, keep going.
I've never seen this Young Frankenstein from 1974.
You've seen The Young Frankenstein,
No.
haven't you? Okay.
Spaceballs, which
Sure.
is one of my faves.
One of Todd's faves.
Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
Sure.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Hot Shots.
Yeah.
Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. And then 2004, Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. Actually, he was one of the people too, the director of Shaun of the Dead. He was also influenced by the Zuckers.
Okay. All
Yeah. I saw that in the research. I just didn't know if you'd know Shaun of the Dead.
No. Okay. What else? What else we got here? Anything?
Well, just to finish off, kind of talking about, Gen X humor and everything. Our kind of motto is the world is absurd, the people in charge are ridiculous, and the only sane way to get through it is to laugh dryly, ironically, and with a side eye. I love that. Like, that's so us. And, that we use that in our lives. We use that in parenting. We teach discernment through comedy. At least we do. You and I use a lot of humor in our parenting. We help our kids see absurdity. We point out the nuance in things. We question authority. And we survive the kind of chaos with like some irony and some warmth and some ability to, see some funny things too.
That's the truth, baby.
I know. So doing this show was not really about going super deep because it is just what it is.
Yeah.
So do you want to play a music game?
Yes. I'm not proud of my choice because
I think your choice is going to be lame.
I think it is too. Are you confident about your choice?
I have reasons for it.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, let's hear what you chose.
There's a lot of danger. There's no pilots. There's food poisoning.
I get it's not bad because
This was a real tough movie for me to encapsulate into a song.
So me too. But the reason that I chose the song that I did is because it was more around that time. So the sound is very of that time because the song I chose came out in 1977.
Okay.
And it's by a band that I love and I still go see them when they're in concert.
Okay.
And it is a song by the Steve Miller Band.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
Jungle Love.
No, babe, Jet Airliner.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So it's very obvious in that it's,
It's a little on the obvious
but
side.
it's also at least from that time period.
That's true. I'll tip my hat. You won.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yours is 80s.
We all had this CD, the greatest hits, Steve Miller or tape.
Oh yeah.
It's a greatest hits.
Steve Miller Band is so much of my high school. Every summer we would go see Steve Miller.
Yeah.
Like it was like a thing like when's the Steve Miller Band coming? And
Yeah.
then I've gotten to see him a few times after high school, obviously. And then, but can I tell you a sad story?
Sure, babe.
So last summer, Def Leppard was playing at Wrigley Field, and it was going to be Def Leppard, Journey, and Steve Miller Band. So I was super psyched, right? All three excited to see. We got there on time, but Journey was already playing. And I was like, what's going on? And I'm like, maybe they flipped them. Maybe it's Journey and then Steve Miller Band. Turns out they had sent out an email that I never got saying that because the weather was going to be really bad, they had Steve Miller go on at 4:00.
Yeah.
Who's there at 4:00, Todd?
It's just people that live nearby.
And who I didn't get an email.
We got to file a protest.
I know.
That.
So I miss seeing the Steve Miller Band.
But what about this song? Okay, I want to play a few more sound bites and then we'll close shop. You okay with that, babe?
Sure. Go ahead.
I didn't get a chance to play this one, which is probably my favorite line in the entire movie.
It's like to fall in the mud and get kicked ahead by an iron boot.
We did the hospital one.
How about this one? You can do it after I say it to you. Ready?
Sure, babe.
It's an entirely different kind of flying altogether.
Yes, it's an entirely
different kind of flying.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I didn't understand that joke.
No.
The first time.
No. I think I did what about this one? This probably won't lend itself to audio, but I'll play it anyway.
Would you like a little whiskey, man?
Certainly not.
Then she does some lines of cocaine.
Yeah, it does.
I got one more for you. Let's see if you can do it.
Sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Leslie Nielsen. Can you face some unpleasant facts?
Geez, I don't think I have that one.
All she says is no.
All right, and then he busts right into it.
Keeps going. She's like, no.
Well,
and then he keeps going.
And then the flight attendant is crying, and she's like,
That's you've got to play that clip.
I don't even have a husband.
He's like, I'm 27 years old, and I haven't gotten married. And then the other woman, whose husband is Jim, who's drinking the 2 cups of coffee, comes in and says, are we landing soon? And he's like, we should be, are you scared or something? And she's like, yeah, but at least I have a husband.
I know. Might take me a while to find that.
It's all right. I'm going to look through my list, see if there's any other. Oh, they did a little spoof on From Here to Eternity. There's when they're doing flashback scenes, Elaine and Ted are in the water and the waves overcome them, where it is From Here to Eternity. That obviously doesn't happen.
I found that. I found it.
Oh, go ahead.
It's kind of a longer scene, but it's worth it.
Okay.
Hang on.
All right.
Oh, Dr. Rumack, I'm scared. I've never been so scared. Besides, I'm 26 and I'm not married.
We're going to make it. You've got to believe that.
Dr. Rumack, do you have any idea when we'll be landing?
Pretty soon. How are you bearing up?
Well, to be honest, I've never been so scared. At least I have a husband.
That's so good.
So bad.
So good.
He's 26. Okay.
Anything else, babe?
I don't know. I think we got it. I think we got it. And, for those of you who are fans, hopefully we did it justice. There's a lot there. And it's actually a very short movie.
90 minutes.
It's pretty short.
It's tight.
It's tight.
Not a lot of dead weight.
And so, watch at your own risk. And that's all I have to say about that.
And we're going to play it off to some Jungle Love because it makes no sense. And
this is supposed to be funny.
Keep trucking, everybody. See you next Tuesday.